Hello friends, this is Normal here for Technique, and in this video we're going to review the latest J series phone in the budget segment from Samsung, the Samsung Galaxy J7 Next. So last week we unboxed the device and also did a quick gaming performance test and also the camera review of this device. So in this video we'll talk about the detailed aspects and we'll see whether this is a good device to buy in this price segment. So before going into the detailed aspects, let's firstly have a look at the quick specs. It comes with a 5.5-inch Super AMOLED display. It is powered by the Exynos octa-core chipset, coupled with 2GB RAM, 16GB internal storage, a 13-megapixel rear camera, 5-megapixel front camera, 3000 mAh battery, Android 7.0 with the Samsung's latest UI, and this also comes for a price of 11,490 rupees in India. So now let's go into the detailed aspects. Let's first start with the design and build quality. So design wise, we already said in our unboxing, this is an outdated design from Samsung. We have been seeing this same design over the years in almost all J series phone, and Samsung hasn't done anything to improve the design. It's the same design what we are seeing in the J5, J7, and you can see the camera unit which has a slight projection, the LED flash. Here we have a matte finish with a pattern on the rear panel. This is a plastic body, so no metal construction. It is a removable panel, and you can also remove the battery. Now on the side panels you can see a glossy plastic which doesn't give a good feel altogether. It feels like a cheap material quality used. We have the power key on the right side while the volume keys is on the left side. The bottom houses the USB micro USB charging slot and the 3.5mm audio jack, and on the top there are no openings or slots. Now on the front panel we have a 5.5-inch Full HD display, a front facing 5-megapixel camera, LED flash, and we have this Samsung's home button and two capacitive touch buttons, and there is no fingerprint scanner on this device. So design and build quality feels quite outdated. It's high time Samsung did something with the build quality of the J series phones. Now let's talk about the display. So this is one of the J series phones with a Super AMOLED panel. It's an HD display, 720p display with a Super AMOLED panel. So the colors are quite good and rich in nature, and touch response also feels quite good, and you can see the viewing angles are also really good. So Super AMOLED display is definitely one of the good aspects about this device. But there is no protection offered on this device. So if you're using the device, we would advise you to use a screen guard or a tempered glass. Now let's talk about the software. So this phone comes with the latest Samsung experience of the Samsung's UI. You can see the settings panel. It has completely new settings UI which we have seen on Samsung's phone released in 2017. We have some additional options including locking and masking apps, one-handed UI, then multi-window is supported. That's a functionality of Android, but Samsung has implemented it, and dual messenger is also included. You can run two instances of social messengers like Facebook, WhatsApp, Skype, etc. Then we have panic mode, then there is easy mode. Some basic options are also included. Then there is also support for themes. You can download additional themes once you have set up the Samsung account. And then we also have a secure folder and secure folder, and these are some additional options from Samsung. And you can also see Samsung's additional apps like health, Galaxy apps, radio, voice recorder are also included in this device. So that's the UI of the Samsung Galaxy J7X. So overall the UI looks quite good. There are lots of features available, so we don't have much to complain here. It feels quite good overall. Now talking about the performance, so this phone is powered by an Exynos octa-core chipset, the 7870 chipset, which is clocked at 1.6 GHz. It is coupled with 2GB RAM and 16GB internal storage. It has Mali T830 GPU. Before going into the performance aspect, we would like to remind our viewers that there are lots of sensors missing on this device. There is no a light sensor, that's ambient light sensor. There is no compass sensor. There is no gyroscope, and there is no fingerprint scanner. So a lot of sensors are missing on this device, and this is typically like any other J series phone with a lot of missing sensors. At this price point, we would have expected at least fingerprint scanner on this device. So that's again missing. Now talking about the day-to-day experience, we didn't see any major lags or issues. pixels. It was quite responsive overall and does the job pretty well in terms of the performance aspect. Now the gaming experience of this device was also quite decent. We did high graphic rich games on this device, and it was kind of satisfactory experience overall. There was no major lags or issues, and the Super AMOLED display was quite good in terms of the gaming experience. Now the Antutu benchmark score for this device is 44411. It's a 2GB RAM coupled with the Exynos 7870 chipset. Now this device does come with OTG support, and there is just 16GB storage available. That's quite disappointing for a phone priced almost close to 12k. At least 32GB should have been included. There is a dedicated SD card for expansion, but the storage is quite less at 10GB usable. Now this phone comes with dual SIM cards, VoLTE and 4G LTE support out of the box. Now the speaker performance of this device, which is located on the rear panel next to the camera, is quite satisfactory. Not a great performer, but for a phone in this price segment, it's quite satisfactory performer. So in terms of the performance aspect, while the performance was quite satisfactory, where the phone misses out is the lack of basic sensors and also a fingerprint scanner. Now let's talk about the cameras. So we have a 13 megapixel camera on this device. The camera interface is quite good with the Pro mode, continuous shot, HDR, and quite good options available. And there are also some filters included, so it does work pretty well. But the focusing of the camera is pretty slow because there is no face detection autofocus, and the regular autofocus takes a lot of time in focusing, especially with the close-up images. Now looking at the camera samples taken with this device, we could say that the daylight shots were quite average. Lack of detailing and lack of color quality made the photos pretty much average, and it's not a great camera in this price segment. We have seen phones like Honor 6X and the Coolpad Cool1 with great cameras in this price segment. So comparing with the competition, that J7 Next fails in the camera department. While the close-up images of this device was quite good and satisfactory experience, the overall camera experience along with the daylight and the low light experience was quite average, and definitely not a camera to choose if your priority from the smartphone is camera. Now the phone can record videos in 1080p, and again the camera recording sample was quite average. Now similar to other J series phone, this phone also comes with a 5 megapixel front facing camera with LED flash, and the front selfie experience was again kind of average, and low light selfies taken with flash was more or less noisy, and it was not great in terms of the sharpness levels. So overall the camera on the Samsung Galaxy J7 Next was kind of disappointing for most of the aspects. Now finally talking about the battery. So this phone comes with a 3000 mAh battery, and the battery performance is quite decent overall because you get almost close to 3 hours or 3 to 3.5 hours of screen on time with moderate usage. That's quite good performance, we would say. It's not a terrific performer because with Honor 6X or even the Redmi Note 4, you can get almost like 6 to 7 hours easily. So in that aspect, the battery performance is not that great, but still for a moderate user, you will definitely get around 3 to 4 hours of screen on time on this device. So summing up, how good is the device for 11,490 rupees in India? So when you look at the competition, there are lots of devices like the Redmi Note 4, Honor 6X, Coolpad Cool1, and new phones are also coming up in this price segment. So where does the Samsung Galaxy J7 Next position itself? So talking about the cons of this device, the design is kind of outdated, the build quality is quite average, and the cameras are kind of disappointing. Then lack of basic sensors including fingerprint scanner, then other sensors like ambient light sensor, compass, gyroscope, all these things are missing, and the pricing is also on the higher side, just 2GB RAM and 16GB storage offered at this price segment. Now talking about the good aspects, this phone definitely comes with a good display. It's an HD display. Still it manages to pack an AMOLED panel, so that's something good, and the software is Android 7.2, and that does come with some good options as well, and the battery life is decent. So overall, for a price of 11,500, we feel this is not a great investment, especially when the competition offers much more in terms of the cameras, the performance, and overall value for money package in terms of the Honor 6X or the Redmi Note 4. So we would suggest you to give this device a miss unless you're really looking for a Samsung device in this price segment. So that was the detailed review of the Samsung Galaxy J7 Next. Hope this video was useful. Do hit the like button and also hit the red subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.